so I said I was going to be back with a video discussing frequently asked questions about us and our relationship. Most of the questions we get asked are things that I feel like I've kind of already answered, like where we met.
On planet Earth.
Hello.
We get asked, if we have to deal with a bunch of... Hi, Nia.
Hi.
We've been asked if we have to deal with a bunch of...
Hooey.
Racist hooey. I'll let him answer because y'all think I don't let him talk.
No.
No, really, we honestly don't deal with very many things. I was very sensitive, and I thought that we would a lot when we first got married, and I can remember several times going out and you know, like we'd be out eating at a restaurant, and like some elderly white lady would stare us down, and I would start getting, you know, attitude like, you know, and then she'd come over and she'd be like, I'm sorry I was staring, but it's just your family's so beautiful. Or, I'm sorry I was staring, but you remind me of my daughter and her husband and their kids. And you're like, oh. So I don't walk around with as much of a chip on my shoulder. I don't have like a chip on my shoulder about it at all anymore. I mean, every now and then when I'm out, you know, we'll get looks from like white women who'll look at me kind of mean because they're like not married and I am. But I think that's the same thing that, you know, oftentimes black women will do, you know, when we're out. But, I mean, that's the most kind of racist-y type things we deal with. But, like, our kids are friends with lots of different people. They don't have to encounter anything weird over being, like, mixed. Our social life is very full. We don't really deal with any... Oh, there are 2 exceptions in the entirety of our relationship.
Just a couple of incidences down in the South.
Mm-hmm.
Mississippi,
Alabama.
a little bit in Virginia Beach.
That's about it.
So, but that's to be expected. We don't live in those parts. We lived in Florida for a while. Florida's not really like that, so it was all good. What else? Oh, another frequently asked question is when you have lots of kids, how do you make time for each other? So I'll let him answer.
As you can see, you just work it out.
We tell him to
They're
go
like
away.
barnacles.
We say, go do something. How do we handle it, kids?
You're like, I need to get cookies first.
Sometimes
Get your cookies.
Mom will say bye and we leave. Other times, Mom will just say go downstairs. And other times, you can just tell that she wants to leave.
You just make time.
We do. We just make time. But when they were little, we did special things like we would make sure that if it was nap time, we would take advantage of nap time. There were a lot of times, especially when you're young and you have no money and you have little kids, you have to think outside the box, you know. So we're not going to be able to go to the movies like we used to go. We're not going to be able to eat out like we used to eat, you know, when our kids were really, really small. Can we get that picture off the dining room for me so I can show that? But see, I just wanted to show you this so you could see that at one point we were living very crazy, hectic in diaper. I think in this picture, all 3 of them were in diapers. So, like, I know what that's like to be, like, up to
Even
here.
the person taking the picture
I was in diapers.
was in diapers.
Yes.
That's a long story.
Yeah. No, I really wasn't. Seriously, don't ask me about that. Like, I really wasn't. Oh gosh. Anyway, maybe one day. But not today. Anyway, so when they were younger, we'd be real intentional. And if we found ourselves missing each other, like, you know, wanting to have a deeper experience than just like a quick, you know, one of the things that we were would do is I would make sure to kind of set the tone. You know, the kids would be well fed, they'd be washed, they'd be ready to go to bed. I'd tell them just to go back to the room and not even have to worry about the kids. And then I'd put the kids down, and by the time I'd let them come back out again, you know, I'd feed them dinner, everything out in front. By the time I'd let them come out again, I had the candles going, the music going, and you know, like
Lockdown.
regular, normal 7 o'clock bedtime. And I'm like, I'm not even playing. I don't want anyone talking about they want their whoopee. I don't want anyone talking about they want. It's not happening because mommy and daddy need to spend time together. We just made it really clear that if our family didn't have a strong foundation where mom and dad were concerned, that it was going to hurt our family all the way around. And so I think we did a pretty good job helping them understand that mommy and daddy relationship is huge when it comes to the health of our family as a whole, and us staying close, and as a family, you know, we got to be good. And so, but I would do things like that, and then he'd come out, and he didn't have to think, he didn't have to work. It was just instant romance. And then there were nights when he would do the same things for me, you know, and he'd just say, go back to the room, you've got the night off. And like, especially if I called him a lot at work and the kids were crying a lot, or I had a bunch of sickies that day, and all the stuff that goes with that, diarrhea blowouts and all those other things. And, you know, he'd get those calls because I'd be like, you know, and he'd hear it from me. And many, many, many times he'd come home, you're done. I know you're cooked. Go back to the room and take the night off. And then, you know, he'd come back in, draw the bath, you know, have the candles going, and invite me into the bathroom. And, you know, so you have to take some initiative. You don't have to have a bunch of cash rolling around to have a really, really good time and to show each other you're special. Do you guys feel like we were ever mean when we were taking our time to be with each other? Do you feel like we were, like, how did that make you feel?
Oh, I felt so neglected. It was just horrible.
Well,
Go to your room.
what I just respect them. Like, okay, they need time to themselves. It's like, I mean, they give us time, a lot of time. So it's like, hey, have a home date. The house date.
Yes. Yes. So, and I guess maybe that's the other thing too. Like, don't neglect your kids. Do stuff together as a family as much as you can. You know, we game, we read books together. You know, we go to church together, we pray together,
Movies.
we read word together. We love watching movies. But just as a family, we're big Doctor Who fans, and we love to cuddle up and watch Doctor Who together, and and all that stuff. I remember. Oh, people wanted to know if you stepped.
Yes. Yes, I did.
It was very good.
It was fun.
Yes, it was very good. I did too, by the way. Not that anybody asked me.
It's not
Whatever.
important. It's not important.
Whatever.
Not important.
Whatever. We get a lot of questions from people who are like, you know, I just think interracial relationships are wrong, because what about the kids, and what about the family?
What do you think?
Well, being biracial.
Really?
Biracial.
I did not know.
Gasp. Well, lots of times, you know, I mean, I haven't had anyone being like, oh no, like, what are you, or anything like that. I don't know. I haven't had any of that, but I feel normal, I guess. My friends are like of everything. I got like friends who are also biracial. I got,
that's
you
what
know,
I like.
African American friends, white girl friends. I mean, there's not exactly any borders I have, because I can sort of just hang out with whoever I want to. I mean,
So
there's nothing weird about it.
I guess hopefully that'll answer the question about whether or not the kids suffer.
No.
Are you suffering?
No.
I'm in so much pain.
No, you just stabbed a piece of my back when I was 6, and then you totally threw me to the wall when I was 7.
We'll do it again too.
Yeah, because we're
Don't
so...
step that line.
That's right.
Yeah, like told me to jump out the window, and I did.
That was a fun day.
so-
And then she grew this little piggy nose.
Yeah.